Geek Legion of Doom. This is going to be a different type of video to the normal fare that we put up here. And you must forgive me if this one seems like I'm kind of patting myself on the back a little bit. We are going to talk about this channel and basically the impact that it's maybe had on certain movies and stuff like that. And also, it might be somewhat of an opportunity for anyone who's interested and somewhat of an invitation. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm pleased that this channel has actually got quite involved with film companies throughout the last few years, and we've had some kind of like success in regards to kind of different partnerships. What happens is film companies will send me screeners, and what they are, they're kind of on one of two forms. Sometimes it will be a link to a movie that we'll watch online. Sometimes they'll send me what are called review discs, and this is basically how I'll see films prior to them coming out. And I really want to talk about something I'm quite proud of, to be honest with you, and this is our words here on the channel being kind of translated onto the marketing material for a bunch of films. I almost feel like my words are now immortalised on the front of some B-movie DVD covers. I'm quite happy about it, but it's also looking at some of the contributors that have helped me do that, and look at through various means. I'm not going to go through everything. We'll take it piece by piece, but we've reviewed lots of kind of like straight to video on demand kind of movies here, particularly horror films, also kind of science fiction, fantasy, that kind of stuff. And we've had our quotes basically put on different films' websites. We've had even a quote on a trailer for an actual movie that played in America. That's actually my quote on there that I kind of reviewed the movie on. We've even had quotes on posters. Even the weirdest one is that I actually have my review of the movie Nemesis is actually a special feature on this particular German box set of the Nemesis movies on the first film. And no, they didn't ask my permission, they just kind of took it. So there you go. So what we're going to have a look at mainly is going to be the quotes that they've used for various different films that I actually have the physical copies of. Now I'm in contact with a variety of different film companies, some of which are in the UK, some of which are in the States, and some of which are in Australia. Now I don't have any Australian or American DVDs here, so I don't have any of those ones. So I only have the UK releases. And they don't tell me that they're going to use them, to be honest with you. So I never know if quotes will be used or not. I do want to say this channel was never meant to be just me. It was meant to be a culmination of a variety of different people. So I am kind of always really happy to kind of partner with other channels who feel like they kind of want to either do stuff for this, this channel for whatever reason. I always say I'm quite happy for myself to, for them to promote their own channels on here. And some will just do it because they want to watch films and maybe do the same sort of thing. So this is an open invitation to anyone who is interested in doing reviews for this channel. I am quite happy to talk about doing collaborations, and like I said, maybe you'll get your words on a DVD case. It's quite a nice feeling when you can look at your quote that you've said and think, it's me who said that. Someone in Asda up the road is going to be reading my quote and thinking, what a load of crap. But I like it. So anyone that's interested, let me know. Just drop me a message, geeklegionofdoom@gmail.com. Obviously the email is in the About You section here. But also we get offered to do interviews and stuff. I never really have the time to do that sort of thing, to be honest. But if anyone's interested, I'm quite happy for us to work something out. But let's have a look at some of these kind of these quotes that we've got on the variety of different ones. Like I said, I don't know if this list isn't exhaustive. This is just ones that I've seen. And these are either the UK versions. I don't have any the US discs or Australian discs that we've basically reviewed screeners for. Now, like I've mentioned, we get two types of different things. We get the email links and we get the review discs. When we get review discs, this generally means that the movie is not long to come out. So generally speaking, if we review these movies on disc, you won't ever really get a quote because it's too far into production. All the covers and stuff have still been printed, and so that's if you get a disc, then you're not going to get a quote on the cover necessarily. But obviously they might put it on the website, stuff like that. But it's still fun. Paul, who does pretty much all of the Arrow releases. We get discs sent from Arrow and a couple of other companies as well, kind of the retro films. Paul from Buckaroobanzai and Ballistic Blood Bullets does the majority of them for him because he's a big kind of retro movie fan. He knows his stuff, so, and that's kind of his thing. So I kind of like to let Paul do the kind of the Arrow stuff. He's got his own playlist in the channel here, and he's a big contributor. Going to be talking about contributors in a little bit as well. So let's have a look at some of these DVDs that have got our quotes on, and you can tell me if you've seen anything in any of these, and if you agree with what we've said. I'll talk about them a little bit, why we say certain things as well. So let's have a bit of a check out. Right, so we're going to have a look at some of these DVDs that we've got quotes on. I'm actually going to split them up into the people that have reviewed them. So like I said, I'm happy to collaborate with anyone who's interested, and I have done, there are a number of different YouTubers, and I've done some recently actually. The DVDs haven't come out yet, so I don't know if any of the quotes, like Blu-Ray Ben has done one, Byron's Reviews has done one, Adam from View World Cinema has done one. I don't know if these films will actually use any of the quotes yet, but you know, they might, so I'll show them in a later video should they come up. But I want to talk about these. This reviewer first of all, Madison Mayhem. She hasn't really made like her own channel recently. She does kind of horror movie updates and stuff like that. She's done a few reviews for me, not recently though. And she reviewed this one, Angel of Darkness, which is, I think it's a vampire movie. And we got our quote here, vampiric sexual tension. At least I think this is Madison's one. I'm 100% sure, to be honest, I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure that's her review. The next one from her was this one, Conjured. Now these are the UK names. A lot of these are going to have different names in the States and stuff like that. We've actually got two quotes there. A thriller with horror elements, and I nearly fell out of my bed in fear. Now you got to have to, when you look at these quotes, one thing I will say is they're not always like oh, this movie is a great thing. Some of them are going to be more or less descriptive about what they are. So you could watch a terrible movie, and you might really kind of not give it a good rating, but they might still use a quote which is kind of descriptive of something in the film. I've actually got another one in the back here as well. There is some movie magic in there. So she's actually got 3 quotes on one movie. So well done, Madison, on that one. Feed the Devil. Now this, for example, it's again by Madison, and it's just a movie I don't think she actually particularly liked. And here we've got supernatural werewolf, demonic ghost creatures. It was just a descriptive thing. It wasn't really anything positive. It was just a kind of like a way she kind of described what the kind of film was about, and ramps up the suspense. So she got 2 quotes on that one as well. So there you go. Next up, Zara. Now, Zara isn't actually another YouTuber as such. She was actually a friend of mine in real life, and she used to live near me and has since kind of moved away. And she has done a couple of reviews for me. It changes from I can't really read this upside down, a haunting horror to a mind manipulation horror. Again, more of a descriptive one. There you go. Sleeping Beauty. Again, this was from Zara. A good mix of fantasy and adventure on the bottom there. I think that is it for that one. Yep. So again, this one's Zara. Now we're going to move on to Paul. Paul's actually my biggest contributor. Go check him out, Buckaroobanzai on YouTube. Very knowledgeable guy, and he does a lot of my reviews for me. So he has actually quite a lot of impact on some of these movies. This one is Imaginarium, which is a weird Tim Burton-esque type movie. Now a lot of these I haven't actually seen. I don't have time to watch all of them, so I have to rely on obviously the people doing reviews to watch them. Hold the attention to start to finish. That's obviously Paul's quote at the bottom there. Not sure if there's any more on the front. Let's have a look. And we've got another one in the back here, mixing elements of Peter Pan and the Snowman. So this looked quite. I did watch the trailer of this, and it looked quite fun actually, I must say. Here's one I know Paul liked. Time for the shark to hit the fan. What a great quote from Paul there. He is Mr. Puntastic, I tell you. And then we've got another quote just on here. So this is obviously a fun sort of made-for-TV creature feature, sort of Sharknado-y type movie. Rampage President Down. This was actually one of the more recent ones he's reviewed. On this one, he's got a quote on the back, I believe. Powerful and poignant. So again, this was Paul's. I don't think I've seen most of these films, to be honest with you. I'll get to my ones in just a minute. The Good, the Bad, and the Dead. Obviously a Dolph Lundgren movie here. And we've actually got two quotes on the back. The Heat is On from start to finish. That's ours. And Dirty Money, Dirty Deeds, and Dolph. Again, Paul has a way with words. Oh, I've actually got another one up here as well. Where are we? A B-movie smattering of No Country for Old Men. There you go. So that's that one. The Haunting of Mary. Obviously a ghost story here. A new ghostly tale to haunt your very soul. Obviously at the top there. And we've also got another one there. Simply saying a ghostly tale. Ooh. And there's another one. The Stuff of Bedtime Story Scares. So there you go. That's Paul as well. And the last one I have to hand from Paul is Mission 88, which is actually called ISRA 88 in the States. This is the UK release. Interesting with this review, this one got lots of views and everyone hated the movie, but Paul liked it. So they're getting loads of dislikes on that video, but there you go. Both engrossing and thought-provoking. So much to be found here for the sci-fi fans. Okay, that's both two quotes from Paul there. Alright, so now we come on to my ones. This is the most recent one I've got. I only got this today to purchase. And this one, Cage Dive, also known as Open Water 3. Intense, claustrophobic and terrifying. Geek Legion of Doom, as you can see there. That is me. I really enjoyed this movie. House of Evil. I think we've got a back quote here. Don't dare watch this in the dark. I suggest you watch this my review of this to see what the remaining quote was. Here's a great movie. If you like your Blade Runner type films, then this one is definitely worth checking out. I got a German version. It's on Blu-ray because I wanted to have it on Blu-ray. If you're a science fiction fan, you'll love this movie. It is a great cyberpunk film. The visual effects are so impressive. Have we got a back one? Yes, we do. A visual treat. You're going to love it. This is legitimately a real fun, low budget, but kind of fun cyberpunk Blade Runner style movie. Jurassic School, which is one of the few kind of kids movies I did. I actually reviewed this one with my two very young nephews, and they said a couple of things. I was kind of hoping that they would quote them, but they didn't. And the movie is more of a descriptive one. E.T. with dinosaurs, which is basically just a kind of like a commentary on what the plot is like, basically. A dinosaur take on the E.T. story. It's pretty much a asylum movie that tells the same story as E.T. but with a dinosaur. A very cheap dinosaur. Tournament of Death, which is a Russian kind of Hunger Games movie, I guess you would say. It's called Dance of Death as well. And impressive. It is impressive, this movie. You know, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's certainly visually impressive. And I think that is the only one. Oh no, we've got another one here. The Hunger Games meets Step Up. If that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. So, Little Dead Rotting Hood. You got a quote on the back here, but I can't really read this. Supernatural warrior a la Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but with a werewolf twist. So there you go. So as you can see, if I do spot these videos out, these DVDs out in the wild, I'll kind of pick them up just so I can kind of collect all the ones with our quotes on. Maybe if I ever go to the States, I'll have a look around there. Encounter. jump out of your seat scares. I've actually got quite friendly with the director of this movie since reviewing this, even though it wasn't the best review ever. Yeah, so there you go. Ghost Ship. There's actually 2 films called Ghost Ship, which is not the kind of the older one. This is a newer version, which I think was called Curse of the Siren or something like that. Originally, fantastic. Is there another one? No, that is it. Sometimes I can't tell the colour of the writing, because I'm actually colourblind. Another World, which is a kind of a quite bizarre zombie film that I actually kind of liked, but a frantic breakneck pace. So a bit of a quote on the back there. I think this was like Iranian or something, I can't remember now. Here's a movie that I really enjoyed. It's also known as Hallows Grove, or Hallows Grove. Now in the UK, Orphanage, The Haunting at Hallows Grove. And I think we've got a back quote on this one. Claustrophobic and chilling, and I found myself at the edge of my seat. 2 back quotes there. There you go, so that's quite a fun kind of found footage movie. Death Call, which I think is called Old 37 in the States. This film is going to be hardcore. It's got 2 genre legends in that one, Bill Moseley and Kane Hodder. Atlantis Down. This was the first one that I ever saw that had a quote on. A mixture of Lost and The Matrix. This is the first DVD that I ever bought for definite that had a quote. I'm not sure if it's the first movie that I ever used a quote, to be honest, because sometimes they, like I said, they just don't tell me. But it's certainly the first one I purchased. And from there I thought I'd collect them. Taking Earth, which is a relatively recent kind of sci-fi movie. Doesn't skimp out on the effects. And then we have complex visual effects, and also a sprawling film with multiple story arcs. So again, you're kind of talking about the description rather than the, you know, a rating, which I think a lot of people feel that their quotes will be. Often they'll use descriptive quotes. And sometimes they won't use quotes at all, but they'll just give you your star rating. Bam. So there you go. Viral. And then the last one, for the moment at least, is Ghost Hunters, which was an asylum movie, which was essentially a mockbuster of the Ghostbusters film. I really love this film. I thought this was a great movie. And this, again, it's a descriptive one. This is Ghostbusters, but taken seriously. We've also got genuine creepy moments. And I think that is it. Yes. So there you go. Ghost Hunters. So that is basically my collection of DVDs that have got quotes from us, at least the UK ones, like I've said. Companies that we review for in the States and Australia, I haven't got them, to be honest with you, because it's just too much money, really, just to keep importing them and stuff. So, yeah. Have you seen any of these films, and you know, have you disagree with any of our kind of comments? And like I've said, this is an invitation. If anyone is interested in doing collaborations and on this channel, and like I said, I can send you screeners. There are a few rules and stuff I'll go through if you're interested, but let me know. And I'm quite happy to collaborate, you know, with you guys. And if it's something you're interested in being involved in, let me know. I've kind of done stuff for other channels as well, so it's a two-way street. Hit me up, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.